All right, Quasi, I think we are live. So for everybody who is here right now, welcome to day 3. We've made it, and I hope you are having fun as much as we are. The conference team is so happy that you're all here, and we're really excited to bring you what has to be the most exciting day also of our conference. But first and foremost, we would like to acknowledge this land on which SEDS-Canada's headquarters operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat and the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. So today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful and so grateful to have the opportunity to work and be based on this land that we call Toronto. So my name again is Shamira. I'm the president of SEDS-Canada, and here with me is Quasi, who's our VP External. But just to recap the day 1 and day 2 of the conference so far, if you kept up for the whole day, then this is just a little bit of a recap to remind you of what had happened. So we had Benita as well as the Zenith Canada Pathways with Tahir as our first MOU announcement. And yesterday also we had the pleasure of having a panel for entrepreneurship in space, the 3-minute thesis student competition. We had 6 students compete in this, which was really, really great. Results to come and to be announced, and prizes to be announced today. Our speaker series continues today as well. It started yesterday. And our Expo booth showcase was a bang and was a hit. So just to show you how we ended off the day, this is a little snippet of Dr. Matt Russo. He is playing the sounds of, if you can guess.
Okay.
So that was the sound of the sonifications of the TRAPPIST-1 exoplanet system. So who knew that music and space could be merged together in space art? But today, more exciting, even more exciting than that, we have another MOU announcement, which Quasi will introduce later on, our Why Space Student Competition, coming up right after, a science communication and professional development workshop, and 2 panels today, not 1, but 2, and our closing keynote, Kate Howells. And then, just to remind, I think the music is still playing, but to remind you again, Y Space stands for the Young Space Entrepreneurships Competition. There's 6 finalist teams, so Tridacna, Leap, Portal, BioArc, Time, Soul, and Space Shield. So please go on ahead in the next session after this talk, also with a keynote from Daniel Schulten from our sponsors at MDA. And thank you also to SATCAN and HEC Montreal for sponsoring Y Space. A huge thanks also goes out to the UTIUS, or University of Toronto Centre Institute for Aerospace Studies, for sponsoring this conference. We would not have made it this far without your support, as well as support from GHGSat and Supercluster, our silver sponsors. And I'll hand it off to Quasi.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction, Shamira. And so this year, SEDS-Canada is also excited to unveil our new membership portal. So for an annual fee of 12 Canadian dollars, you will get access to many benefits. And these include access to our revamped Discord space community. Students at Canadian institutions get to participate in our projects. And you get access to professional development services like our job postings and our resume book. And so for a sneak preview of some of the professional development services that we offer, our magic SEDS person is going to post a link to a resume book where you can submit your resume to be shared with some of our sponsors for this event. As well, this year, SEDS is unveiling some new discounts. Next slide. And on the topic of discounts, we recognize that students have a large role to play in shaping our future space industry. This is why, for the first time ever, SEDS-Canada is pleased to partner with the International Space University, ISU, to offer a minimum 50% discount for student members to participate in the Masters of Space Studies, MSS, and the Space Studies Program, SSP. And so in order to qualify for this 50% discount, you would need to submit a full application to the ISU program of your choice and verify your SEDS-Canada membership by sharing a screenshot of your membership portal with admissions@isunet.edu. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our opening keynote, Nassim Beauvais. Nassim Beauvais is the Admissions and Alumni Affairs Lead at the International Space University in Strasbourg, France. Before this position, he has worked for several years with the Air Liquide Group in Paris and Houston in project management positions. He has worked at the NASA Kennedy Space Center on space shuttle payload integration, as well as done work for the space propulsion company SNECMA. I hope I pronounced that right. Nassim has also done work with the non-governmental organization Action Against Hunger, where he spent time in Afghanistan and Liberia as a mission administrator. To top things off, Nassim is a private pilot, a skydiver, and scuba diver that speaks French, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Nassim himself attended the Master of Space Studies program. And so let us all welcome Mr. Nassim Beauvais as he talks about ISU.
Thank you very much, Bessie, for your nice words. There are so many alumni in Canada, and we already heard about from many actually this weekend, like Vinita Marvaha, for example, or Ryan Anderson, Lucy Stojak, Ryan, Tahir Merali. I mean, there are just so many. So thank you again for having me at this event. I will make a short presentation of the International Space University. So let me just share my screen. All right, can you see everything properly?
Yes.
All good, okay. All right, so for those who don't know about ISU, we are a university solely dedicated to space, and we were actually founded.
You may just need to share the presentation.
Oh, okay. I'm sharing
it. Or click present, sorry.
Okay, let me do it again. Stop sharing. Share. What about now?
It's up, but we just see the whole PowerPoint as opposed to just the slides. Maybe if you go to present on the top, maybe if you go to present, then we can just see the slides only.
Okay, let me try again. It was working before.
But I think it's okay. We can still see the slides.
You can see the slides?
Yeah, when you share, we can still see the slides. So we can.
You see them now? When I move them?
No, not right now. Try sharing. Try presenting one more time, and then I think it'll be okay.
Okay. Share.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. It's moving correctly?
So right now we see the whole PowerPoint with the toolbars on the top. Maybe it's just the screens are flipped, but it's totally okay. We can still see the slides if you want to go through them.
Okay. All right. So ISU was founded in 1987 by those three young visionaries you should be seeing on the slide. And we relocated to Strasbourg, France in 1995. At the beginning of ISU, we had only the Space Studies program every summer. But in 1995, we created our first Master in Space Studies. So we often speak at ISU about the three I's: international, interdisciplinary, and intercultural. Our students come from all over the world, from all backgrounds, and they come together to study all the aspects of space at ISU. And today, more than 80% of our alumni work in the space sector. And once you attend any ISU program, it gives you a membership in a huge network of space experts and professionals. So let's go through the academic programs. The Master of Space Studies, MSS, is a one-year program, always held in Strasbourg, France, at our central campus. There is an optional second year for research. The Space Studies program, SSP, is a 2-month program held every summer in a different country. The Southern Hemisphere Space Studies program is a 5-week program held always in Australia, and basically we created it for our friends from the South Hemisphere. It's happening in January and February. The Commercial Space program happens in Florida for entrepreneurs, and the Executive Space course is a 1-week course which it's held 3 times per year in France, Australia, and the United States.
Sorry to interrupt, Nassim.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess what we still see is we see the home page of the PowerPoint, and then we see the toolbar on the top, which says File, Home, Insert, Design. So maybe just on the top within the PowerPoint, if you go to Slideshow.
Okay, let me try this. From beginning?
Yeah. Click on Slideshow, and then from the beginning. Hopefully that will work.
Does it work now?
Or from the current slide as well.
You see the slides moving?
Not yet. I'm just checking to see if there's a delay. Okay. Try clicking from the current slide.
Okay. From current slide. Here we go.
Yeah.
Do you see the map?
Yeah, I see that you're on the map, but I don't see like the whole screen. It could be, are you on a MacBook?
No, I'm on a regular computer.
Regular computer? Okay, well, it's okay. Maybe you can just click on each individual slide as you go through it. That way we can still see the slides. But right now it just shows the whole PowerPoint program.
Okay, wow, that's unfortunate. Okay. So right now I'm on the slide of the summer, like the Space Studies program. So for the SSP, we were many times in the United States, several times in Europe and in Asia. The upcoming SSP will take place in Granada, Spain, and Strasbourg, France. So for the first time, we will have it on 2 different locations. So we have about 120 participants, and they will be shared between Granada, Spain, Strasbourg, France, and some will be online. So this year, it's actually possible to attend the Space Studies program online, if you're interested. So on this map, you can see some statistics. We have usually about 120 participants from 30 different countries for SSP. And in terms of backgrounds, about half of the participants are engineers. The other half come from all the other backgrounds, so space business and management, space policy and law, physical science, life science, and information technology. The SSP takes 9 weeks to complete. During the first 3 weeks, you have mornings core lectures, and the afternoon you have departmental workshops. Then you can choose one activity and focus on it. You can choose on a technical space or non-technical space. And finally, the phase 3 is the team projects. You can choose between 3 different team projects. Usually there are always some from space exploration and some more like towards the Earth, like remote sensing or disaster management, etc. The Southern Hemisphere program, as I mentioned, always takes place in Australia in January and February. Usually it's mostly people from the South Hemisphere, but you can also attend it if you're coming from the North Hemisphere. The Master of Space Studies students usually are around 40 to 45 students from 25 countries. And here again, we have about half of the students engineers, and the other half come from all the other space backgrounds. In terms of program structure for the MSS lasts 12 months. So you spend 9 months in Strasbourg, so studying all the aspects of space, working on team projects and individual projects. And then you have the internship. The internship can be done in any of our partnering organizations around the world. Some of our students do it at NASA. Some of them do it at the European Space Agency. Some of them do it in the space industry. You can really go wherever you prefer. In terms of team projects, as I mentioned, you can choose the one you prefer, and you have 4 different team projects to choose from for the SSP. In terms of ISU facilities, in the Central Campus, we have an X-band antenna for radio astronomy. We have a concurrent design facility to design faster and better, more efficiently the spacecraft. We have a tracking and ground station. So when our students are manage to launch a nanosatellite in space, we are able to track it from ISU. We have also a real Russian space capsule at ISU, which we can use for educational purposes. And finally, we have a self-deployable habitat for extreme environments, or SHE. It's basically a little like space station you can use to simulate Moon or Mars missions, so analog missions, basically. And in terms of research projects, we currently have a research project on the International Space Station. designed by our students, and it's supposed to return to Earth in January 2022. We also have at ISU an incubator and booster. So many of our alumni are starting their own space companies. And at the beginning of this process, they need some funding. So we help them find funding from business angels. We also provide them with free offices for a few months so they can get started. Since 1988, the ISU alumni community has grown to 5,000 alumni from over 110 countries. The most famous, yes, go ahead.
Just to interject one last time.
Yeah.
So we're still not right on the correct slide, but there's some suggestions to press F5. Maybe that will share the whole screen.
Okay.
It doesn't look like that changed much.
Okay, let me try one last time to do. What if I share my entire screen?
Yep, maybe try that.
And now I put my presentation on. Do you see it?
So we see what we saw last time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
you don't see a slide with you don't see a slide with Jessica Mayer right now.
So it's we see Jessica Mayer, but we see the whole program, not just the slide.
Okay, if I click on show.
Oh, now it works. Now it works.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Okay, so Jessica is probably the most famous of our alumni because she did the MSS in 2000, and 10 years later, she was selected as a NASA astronaut candidate, and finally she became an astronaut. And she actually spent 6 months on the International Space Station. It was last year. And we were lucky enough to have a live link with her, between her and our students. So she took us to a whole tour of the ISS. It was quite amazing. But we have many alumni working in the space sector in many different fields and countries. In North America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Africa, Oceania, and Latin America. You can see on this map examples of logo of organization who employ many ISU alumni. NASA, of course, but also ESA, the Chinese Space Agency, the Indian Space Agency, the Japanese one, CSA, of course, the Canadian Space Agency. All the space agencies in the world employ ISU alums. And the same for the industry and new space. SpaceX has many ISU alumni working for them. Airbus, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Virgin Galactic, Blue Origin. Planet was founded by classmates of mine who did the master at ISU. The same for Spire, CSIRO, or Nick Comset. If you're interested to follow us on our social media, you can go on our Facebook page. You can join our community Facebook group. You can go on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Flickr, etc. A few words on the ISU chancellors. Arthur C. Clarke, which I don't need to present, I think, was the first ISU chancellor. Jean-Jacques Dordain was the second one, the former DG of ESA. Buzz Aldrin was our chancellor for 3 years, and he came several times to ISU to meet our students. And Pascale Ehrenfreud is the current chancellor of ISU. She used to be the German Space Agency president. Finally, speaking about applying to our programs. So you can see here the full fees of the program, which might seem expensive, but as Gvasi mentioned, we have some discounts for you. So first, you need to apply to the program. So by 31st March, if you're applying for SSP, or 15 March for the masters. And then, as a member of SEDS or an attendee of Ascension 2021, you will receive at least a scholarship of 50%, covering 50% of the fees, and possibly more if you have a very good application, either for MSS Space Studies program or Southern Hemisphere Space Studies program. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you again for having me. I thank all the organizers for everything they have done.
Well, a round of applause to this amazing MOU. It's the first of its kind, and SEDS-Canada is really excited to see where this goes. Even in the comments right now, we can tell that there's alumni that's lives have been changed by attending the ISU, myself included. I attended the Masters of Space Studies program and part of the Summer Space Studies program, which were both very great experiences. And so for anyone that's tuning in today, you see some thank yous coming in. For anyone tuning in today, feel free to, if you have any questions about ISU, to email admissions@isunet.edu if you have those questions, and to click on the link to check out some of ISU's programs. And so with that, thank you so much, Nassim, for that keynote. For everyone that's tuned in right now, I'd like to also welcome you to attend our next session. It's the Y Space competition, and it's actually in the sessions part of Hopin, and I think a link will be posted onto the stage over here. And also just wanted to mention that to fill in our feedback forms if you have any, and to enjoy the rest of your day. We've got lots of exciting things that are planned.